And as the 90s started to roll in, especially in the mid 90s, especially in America, that's when Gen 2 really started, to crop up around the world. And you're Gen 2, that's your generation. So I'm going to let you cook. I'm going to let you talk, because that's your generation.
I mean, basically, and the thing is, there is a little bit of an in between because the Harmony Gold Dub came out in '89, but that only aired on some rare markets, and almost nobody had seen it. So yeah, Generation 2 was OG Dragon Ball on the WB or syndication, whatever, and it was on for the first arc, and then Dragon Ball Z on syndication. Now you're counting Toonami also, which Dragon Ball had a run on syndication. Dragon Ball Z had 2 seasons on syndication, and then but it didn't really blow up until '98 when Toonami got it, and it was the afternoon slot. Because the problem with Dragon Ball syndicated is that the times were different in every like state you were in, and every television network you were in. So like some stations aired Dragon Ball Z early on Saturday mornings, some aired on Sunday mornings. I remember mine here aired it at 6 a.m. and it was 2 episodes. I do remember that. And that show just looking at how that show looks with the art and Toriyama's world, any kid seeing that will get hooked quickly just on the visual.
Oh yeah, and that was like around the time when the Toonami promos like started kicking in. The Second Coming promo. They had all those promos.
That was badass. Yeah, that's 99. And like we talked about, the Spanish fandom was more early to mid 90s, and the English fandom was mid to late 90s and into the early 2000s. And then, of course, when Dragon Ball Z blew up here, that led to the video game renaissance because there was no Dragon Ball games from 97 till like '01 or '02. And then here comes Budokai. And here comes Budokai 2. And here comes Legacy of Goku. And here comes Tenkaichi. So we had like a whole new level of Dragon Ball games coming out that even Japan enjoyed. Now, what was going on in Japan in the early 2000s is they got the Kanzenban manga for the first time. People were waiting for that. A full like collection of manga. And they got Dragon Ball Z on the Dragon boxes. And for those who don't know, America had bilingual Dragon Ball Z DVDs before Japan did. So some of the Japanese kids were and adults really because they had grown up. They were importing Funimation DVDs to watch them in their language because there were no DVDs until the Dragon boxes came out. And that's a trip. That means that America beat them when it came to DVDs. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This generation is kind of 2 different people. One set is people like myself, Mr. Fusion Herms, who watched it syndicated, and we could not wait to see what else was coming. So we started tape trading. And that's how we got to see the Android Saga, Fusion Reborn, all these other things we weren't supposed to see yet. I had the entire Boo Saga, the entire thing before it aired on Toonami, all of it. I never watched the Boo Saga on Toonami except twice, just to see what it was going to be like. So that generation, there's a split because there's people that were a bit younger than us, not much, maybe 5-6 years younger, that
the
watched
post 87s.
Yeah, I would say that watched Dragon Ball Z as a kid. We watched it as like kids going into teenagers because in 1999, when season 3 started, I was 15. And so by the time Dragon Ball Z ended in America, I was 19. But there were kids that were 9, not 19, 9. And so it's like 10 years apart. That's your Kwamans, your Black and Fist, that group. Dragon Ball Nation. I'm naming other Dragon Ball YouTubers. They all were in that group. So the 90s is like the second big boom period outside of like the Super era because there were a lot of new fans.
Brand new podcast coming on the 24th of December. That's right, Christmas Eve. The 5 generations of Dragon Ball with Geekdom 101. You don't want to miss it.